Hello guys, I want to speak about a very interesting upcoming event, astrological event, which is the shift of the moon nodes, the lunar nodes, that spent the last year and a half in the axis Gemini and Sagittarius, and now they are shifting into Taurus and Scorpio, so that's a very powerful one. So, in the last 1 year and a half, the issue was really about duality. Gemini and Sagittarius are very divided signs, you know. We can also see it in the Centaur, in the Sagittarius, which is half horse and half man. So there is this instinctive part, and the other part, the other half, that is really projected onto spirituality. But that there is a division, there is separation. So these two signs both talked about separation. I think we have seen a lot of separation with all that is happening in the world right now, in the last 1 year and a half. You know, for those of you who really don't know much the nodes, maybe I should say something. The moon nodes are much used in the Vedic astrology, and they talk about the karma and dharma. So the karma could be really what really we bring in our backpack from past lives, both in terms of gifts that we can use still now, but especially about lessons that weren't integrated or mistakes that we did, for example. So there is a dark side in the south node. In the north node, there is our dharma. So what our soul decided to incarnate in this life, where we decided to go, what we need to embrace in order to fully shine and to become a better version of ourselves. So in the last year and a half, we had Sagittarius as the shadow side. And the shadow of Sag is dogmatism, is my truth is the right one, you're wrong. And I think we have seen a lot of that in the last year and a half. So that was really, really strong, and that created a lot of separation. And what we had to learn in the last year and a half was going toward Gemini. So being more flexible. We had to change a lot of our plans. Cancelled flights, change of travel, change of plans. I cannot do this in person. I have to do it online. We cannot meet. All these kind of rearrangements that we had to do. That's a lot, Gemini, you know. Being flexible. Considering more point of views, communicating, transmitting to people. We had to really build networks because many times we couldn't meet in person, and so we had to communicate, and we had to find other ways. Also, Gemini is much connected to the media. That, of course, saw a huge increase in the last year and a half. But what's about to come? So in a couple of days, in the night between the 18th and the 19th of January, this axis that moves backward in retrograde motion will shift to Taurus and Scorpio. So that's very interesting because, you know, in the Gemini and Sagittarius, we have a mental and intellectual energy. But here, with Taurus and Scorpio, we have the body, the gut, the emotions. And also we have a shift from a more masculine energy, because Gemini and Sag are masculine signs, fire and air, to feminine energy, which is earth and water, of Taurus and Scorpio. So What can be the shadow here with Scorpio? That's a dense one, because Scorpio is the sign of shadow. So, of course, we will have a lot that will come up that we will have to deal with. And the gift is that we can really dive deeper. We can really learn something new, which is accepting death, making peace with death. Death is a huge issue in this moment. We are really scared about that, most of us. And the time has come to see death in a different way, to have a new perspective on death. But the shadow of Scorpio is that maybe we can indulge in negativity. We can really get attached to our dark emotions, unhappiness, wounds. And I'm not saying that we have to hide our head in the sand and not seeing it, you know, but not to indulge too long there, because we are going to make a mess with our law of attraction. We are going to interfere with the synchronicity of life. And Taurus is asking us really to go back to the simple pleasures of life, go back to the body, taking care of the body like our holy temple. And if we ground in our body, we feel safe, we are not scared to die. And getting back to pleasure, to what is really nurturing us, is so important in this moment. Let's see the two planets that rule these two signs. So we have Pluto, ruler of Scorpio, and we have Venus, ruler of Taurus. So very interesting, because these two did a conjunction in the last month. And they will conjunct again end of February, beginning of March. So I think this is a very, very huge opportunity, because here Karma and Dharma are meeting. So there is a massive chance of transformation in this moment. We can really, 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 if we don't resist to it, of course, and I'm not saying it's easy, but we can really align to our higher version. It's a moment that it's so important for each of us. What we are doing now, what we are doing in this, in the next weeks, in the next months, will really have a direct and strong impact of the years to come. And this axis, you know, Taurus and Scorpio is much connected to the economy, our relationship with money, with our resources. So what are our resources? Are we using them? What can we live without? Do we really need all that we have? Or we can let go of something? Also, regarding material things. Are we really in touch with our sense of safety? It's also finding our inner safety. That's North Node in Taurus. And Taurus is much connected to presence. So being present for everything that shows up. That's the key to happiness. And Taurus is a great teacher about that. So I wish you to traveling presence this year.